Hi everyone and welcome. In this video, I want to revisit a comparison between two fairly similar top-tier languages, C# and Java, but this time relevant to 2026. So, has anything changed since the last time I compared these two top-tier languages? You know what? I honestly believe that C# is going to, in the not-too-distant future, leave Java in its dust. C# is definitely gaining on Java in popularity. Reputable ranking sites like the Taobi Index seem to allude to this fact. C# far exceeds Java in terms of expressiveness and language features in general, which is evidenced by C# features like properties, events, link, pattern matching, nullable types, and more concise constructs. These make many advanced tasks, async, query-like code, and event handling more ergonomic than Java. Java definitely emphasizes simplicity and readability with a more conservative feature evolution. Despite my bias towards C#, I honestly don't think an aspiring developer can go far wrong in learning any one of these top-tier languages. Both are modern, statically typed, object-oriented languages with automated garbage collection, strong IDE, tooling support, and large standard libraries. Having said that, I prefer the tooling available for C# application development. Visual Studio Rider and Visual Studio Code offers some of the most advanced IDE capabilities available, including refactoring support, debugging, performance, tooling, and integrated design surfaces. .NET tooling often feels more integrated and batteries included, whereas Java's ecosystem can feel more fragmented. For example, requiring separate choices for build tools across servers and libraries. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about salaries. Salaries for C# developers versus Java developers seems quite similar, but bear in mind what influences salaries certainly isn't the language itself. Here's what actually influences salaries. Industry, sector. Java is common in fintech and big enterprise systems where salaries tend to be strong. Company size, type. Big tech or finance clients often pay premium salaries regardless of language, experience, and specialization. Of course, senior, specialized, or full-stack roles will mostly out-earn generalist junior roles. Location. Salaries in the US and Western Europe tend to be much higher than in other regions. Tech stack combination, for example, Java plus cloud or C# plus Azure skills often command greater pay. Based on aggregated developer survey data, my research suggests that median compensation for C# developers is slightly higher than for Java developers. But Java jobs generally outnumber C# jobs. Multiple hiring market analytics show that Java is one of the most sought-after languages by recruiters worldwide, often appearing ahead of C# in demand metrics. Recruiters list Java among the top languages they are widely trying to hire for, with high job posting levels, whereas C# typically comes slightly lower in overall demand rankings. Java tends to dominate enterprise and back-end roles. It is widely used in large enterprise systems, banking, fintech, big data, and Android back-end systems, which contributes to a larger number of job postings overall. Having said that, C# developers are often in high demand. C# has a strong presence in the Microsoft ecosystem, enterprise applications, SaaS, game development, notably Unity, and Azure cloud environments, supporting solid demand, though typically with fewer total openings than Java. Please let me know in the comments which language, Java or C#, you'll be focusing on this year and beyond, and what influenced your choice. I'd love to hear your thoughts and insights. Of course, all comments are welcome. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget to ring the bell so that you'll be notified of future content. If you think this video could help someone else, please feel free to share it. And if you'd like to support the channel by buying me a coffee, you can do that at www.buymeacoffee.com/Gavin. So why the difference in number of job postings? Popularity and established base. Java has been widely taught in computer science programs and used across industries for decades, meaning many companies still rely on it and thus advertise more roles. Recruiter focus. Surveys of recruiter demand often list Java ahead of C# as a skill they're hiring for most. Ecosystem breadth. Java's use in large backend systems, cloud microservices, Android, and legacy enterprise apps broadens its job pool. Meanwhile, C# jobs often cluster around the Microsoft stack, which is big but comparatively narrower. However, comparing two languages to determine which is the better investment of your learning time is rarely clear-cut. There are potentially nuanced criteria to consider, like, for example, where you can work legally and where do you want to work, so of course location. What skills make more sense to nurture when considering your personal position? If the company in which you work, for example, is very much invested in the Microsoft ecosystem, it makes sense to invest your time in C#, in learning or advancing your C# skills. If you are an aspiring developer that is able to work in the US or Western Europe and really want to get into the fintech arena, perhaps Java might be attractive to you. C# dominates in game development because of Unity, one of the world's most popular game engines. Unity uses C# as its primary scripting language, and the ecosystem around real-time graphics, physics, and tooling is far larger than Java's gaming ecosystem. For games, especially cross-platform 2D, 3D titles, and AR, VR, C# is a clear favorite, a space where Java has minimal presence. C# with .NET has become more cloud-native and optimized in recent years, including support for AOT compilation, fast startup times, and microservices. If you are familiar with this channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of Blazor. Blazor lets developers build interactive web UIs with C# instead of JavaScript, a capability Java doesn't have natively. C# can cover more layers of a full-stack cloud-native application using a single language and platform. Let's look at runtimes. .NET's runtime, CLR, has made big strides in startup speed, memory management, and JIT AOT performance. In certain scenarios, especially non-massively distributed systems, C# apps start faster and can be more efficient than Java equivalents. For services where fast cold starts and predictable performance matter, for example, serverless, desktop apps, C#.NET often feels snappier. The classic write once, run anywhere model remains strong for Java. The JVM runs on virtually every platform without change. The JVM ecosystem now includes GraalVM and tools that improve startup and native image creation, which helps cloud and microservices use cases. So both the JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and .NET rely on just-in-time compilation, JIT compilation, with additional options such as ahead-of-time, AOT compilation, and native images. The JVM, which is a core part of the JRE, Java Runtime Environment, also supports advanced hot code optimization. In typical enterprise applications, performance differences are often small. C# often starts faster and may edge Java in raw benchmarks in some cases, thanks to .NET improvements. Having said that, JVM's long-running performance is very strong due to decades of refinement and advanced GC options, G1, ZGC. .NET has become fully cross-platform, where it can run on Windows, macOS, Linux, containers, and cloud. .NET also offers AOT compilation, fast startup, and good performance across workloads, especially on Azure. Java has a huge presence in enterprise systems, big data, cloud-agnostic services, and frameworks such as Spring Boot. It has a strong third-party library ecosystem and broad community knowledge base. C# has deep integration with Microsoft tools, for example, Visual Studio, Azure DevOps, and Azure Cloud Services. It has strong support for web, ASP.NET Core, cross-platform mobile, MAUI, or its predecessor Xamarin, and as discussed, game development with Unity. .NET community and contributor base have grown markedly in recent years. So, here's a summary of what has been discussed in this video. C# and Java remain two of the most powerful, mature, and in-demand programming languages in 2026. Both offer modern language features, strong performance, cross-platform runtimes, robust tooling, and a vast ecosystem, making either a solid choice for aspiring and experienced developers. While C# has gained momentum in recent years, driven by its expressive language features, highly integrated tooling, strong cloud-native improvements, and dominance in areas like game development and the Microsoft ecosystem, Java continues to lead in absolute job volume. Java's long-standing presence in enterprise systems, fintech, back-end services, and cloud-agnostic environments ensures it remains one of the most sought-after skills globally. Compensation between these two is broadly comparable, with slight variations driven far more by industry location experience and stack specialization rather than by the language itself. Similarly, performance differences are usually marginal in real-world applications, with each platform excelling in different scenarios. Ultimately, choosing between C# and Java is really a clear-cut technical decision. It comes down to individual goals and circumstances, where you can and want to work, the industries you're targeting, the ecosystems your employer or projects are invested in, and the types of applications you want to build. Whether that's enterprise systems, cloud-native services, fintech platforms, games, or full-stack applications. So in short, both languages are excellent investments. The best choice is the one that aligns most closely with your personal ambitions, career trajectory, and preferred development experience. Let me know in the comments which language, Java or C#, you'll be focusing on this year and beyond, or any other languages that you wish to focus on this year, and what influenced your choice. I'd love to hear your thoughts and insights. Of course, all comments are welcome. If you liked this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget to ring the bell so you'll be notified when new content is released. If you think this video could help someone else, please feel free to share it. And if you'd like to support the channel by buying me a coffee, you can do that at www.buymeacoffee.com/Gavin Lon. It will, of course, be greatly appreciated. I hope to see you soon. Thank you, and take care.